Is the movie Leave the World Behind predictive programming? That was the question asked on the YouTube channel Value Entertainment with that Patrick Van David, I think his name is. I'm not quite sure, can't remember his name. I was watching that podcast and they were asking this question. Now, I was watching this movie. I didn't realize it was Obama was the producer on it. And he had a big say in the script and like the realism and the politics side of things. And so when I found that out, I was quite surprised. But I do remember watching it and I was like, I'm getting the feeling they're almost trying to tell us something. I had that thought, it was a very conscious thought, like, are they trying to tell us something? Because I know in the past, the powers that be have done this with television programs and movies in the past. If you actually look at 9/11, for example, there's like there's some instances of programs or movies where a plane flies. There was literally there was an episode of a series, I think it was, where literally a plane flies into the World Trade Center, and a couple of other references. They do this, and you look up other supposed conspiracy theories towards these catastrophic events, and there's always some type of predictive programming going on. So it very well could be. It very well could be. I mean, it kind of doesn't really make sense to me. Like, if the elites in America, they want a cyber attack on the country. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we know that it is a possibility. Regardless of whether it is or not, it's kind of irrelevant. There is a deeper message here towards this. This is what I really want you guys to think about, okay? The more reliant we are on technology, the more fragile we are as a culture. We are becoming more and more susceptible for some crazy cyber attack that would bring down. Imagine the internet goes out. The internet goes out, millions of people would die. Millions of people would starve. Chaos would ensue if the internet went down for an extended period of time. Becoming far too reliant on technology. And COVID-19 happened, especially at the beginning of this. This was sort of my like red pill on this, like how fragile we are as a society. We have this, I remember growing up with this false sense of security about how good we have it. And we do have it great, and things are easier now. It's easier to navigate, and we'll get onto that point again in a minute, but things to navigate, things to get around, we're easier to get food, easier to connect to people, to communicate, to do business, blah, blah, blah. The fact that I'm talking into my phone right now and then I'll put this online and potentially, thousands of people could listen to this one day, it's pretty crazy. But as we do that, we become more reliant. And the character, Ethan Hawke's character, is the useless husband. And he says his line in the movie, without his sat-nav and his phone, he is a useless man. And as we become more reliant and as we use these technologies, we do lose so much of what made us human. We become more vulnerable to chaos. And as a man, and as a family man, as a father, and a husband and stuff, you want to provide and you want to protect. And we're in the world where, men are providing, earning money. How many of them can protect when shit hits the fan? And I'm not talking, end of the world, doomsday scenarios here. I'm not talking cyber attack brings down the whole country or a virus. Zombie flesh-eating virus or whatever. I'm not necessarily talking about that. I mean, I could be. I very much think you should be prepared for worst-case scenario, because that also prepares you for lesser-case scenarios. But how prepared are you for a lesser scenario, a less intense, less serious scenario that actually throws your world into chaos, that actually does make you more vulnerable to some type of attack or potential loss of food, whatever it is. And that's really essentially the message of the movie. That was what I got out of it. It's like, don't put your whole reliance of your whole existence into modern technology, because when that fails, you're fucked. You're fucked as a man. And COVID was the big, like I said, the big highlight for me, right? And I realized after COVID, like, oh shit, you know what? I'm pretty fucking useless as well, right? I can't navigate a map, okay? I can't hunt for my own food. I can't, there's stuff. I don't know how to start a fire. I don't know how to live out in the woods. And I made a pact with myself to become a man who's capable of that, who's capable of thriving in the modern day world, but also be able to thrive if that same modern day world collapses. And can you imagine the confidence that would give you as a man, the level of competence? Let's say you've succeeded in the modern world. You're making money. You got a good job, or you're an entrepreneur and you're making money and you've provided long-term security and provision for you and your family and maybe even future generations. Amazing. But then can you also tick off the box of survival? It all goes to shit. Can you fight with your bare hands? Can you use weapons? Can you hunt? Can you hunt food on land, in water? Can you start fires? Can you build? Can you handle the elements? Can you handle the cold, the heat, the rain, the snow, and so on? So really, that's really the message I kind of want to give you if you're getting this far, is let's be able to do both. Be a man that thrives in the modern world and uses these technologies as tools to help and better their lives, but also not to become reliant on them, also who can fend for themselves. If a worst case scenario happens, who knows? Get out there. There's so many organizations that are running sort of one day or weekend workshops where they teach you these basic survival skills, and you can go in more in depth, week-long things, and you can make it into a real hobby, a real passion. I've seen a lot of people do that. There's so much information online, even just YouTube channels, so many great channels that can provide you with information on how to fend for yourself out in the wild. Prepare, be a prepper. I remember pre-COVID, everyone would laugh at the preppers, me included. And then when COVID started and the panic was here and we weren't sure how bad the virus was, we were all going to information to those preppers, you know. So get some of that involved. Be prepared in that way. I think there's no harm in being prepared for that, even if it never comes. You know, the old saying, right? You fail to prepare, prepare to fail. And unfortunately for most of us, no one's ready for that. No one's ready for that doomsday scenario. Internet goes down, solar flare, the shuts all the electricity down. We're fucked, man. You're out on your own. Can you look after yourself and your family? Can you survive?
Just easy.
Something to ponder on. up, good. Use. Bravo. Touching that?
What?
Touching that?
No.
You!
Minutes. Woo.